Hey, this is Ish, and today I want to talk to you about how to handle the feelings of inspiration that happen through a meditation practice. So, if you've been meditating for some time, it's actually very interesting to note that all of a sudden you'll get an impulse to perform a certain action or you'll get some creative ideas. And it's a very light and generative feeling that occurs within your body. And if you're not used to it, it's actually very interesting and fascinating to watch it appear. And I think, especially nowadays, unless you're involved in a very, very creative line of work, that we oftentimes don't get the opportunity to come up with new ideas and really tap into our true nature because we tend to follow along with society's rules and expectations, and we don't have any ideas of our own. And during a period of meditation, we're able to tap into our subconscious by looking inwards very fully and deeply, and we get into a very deep and profound place where we're actually able to bring our attention inwards as opposed to focusing on the things around us. And when we're truly looking inwards, we're able to come up with our own ideas and intuitions that resonate with us. So, in a sense, these impulses or inspirations are what is coming from what you can call our soul or our intuition, and it's coming from more of a deeper place than what is reacted to us reacting to society. And one way to distinguish whether the thoughts or feelings or inspirations are coming from your ego as opposed to your intuition is to just note the difference. So your ego tends to rationalize or over explain, while your intuition or your deeper soul will give out phrases or one word commands in a very clear and concise manner. And it doesn't have to be an actual statement, but rather an image or an impulse or a very brief thing. I would call it more of like a nudging towards a certain direction. And this is more so true of your deeper self rather than the society, and which is more of a superficial layer. Your ego will be telling you to do a certain action because of this, this, and this. And I'll give you a whole laundry list of rationalizations. And what I also find very interesting as well is that when you're in this deep state of meditation, your brain waves actually change as well. So they're more in the alpha brain waves, which are more relaxed, and then especially the theta waves, which are more related to the subconscious and being very receptive to that. And you might have also noticed that when you're waking up from a dream or you're maybe in the shower and you're just kind of dazing off a bit, you'll come up with these same kind of insights and ideas because you're accessing the same brainwave state. So that's very interesting how you can, through your period of meditation, you're able to access that part of you that is coming up with new ideas, it's creative, and you're in a very relaxed and receptive frame of mind. And this receptive part of your mind is actually very important because oftentimes when we're focusing on a project, we try to force ourselves and to come up with different solutions or new ideas, and we try to brainstorm everything. But we might take a break for a while and go for a walk, and all of a sudden we'll have the answer. Well, it's the same way when we're meditating. All of a sudden, since we're not forcing anything and we're being in a place of receptivity and also tapping into our deeper subconscious layers, we're able to come up with these very cool insights we wouldn't have normally thought of if we try to force and come up with new ideas. And I think one solution to handle all these ideas and inspirations is to actually write it down, because there's a high chance that you'll forget it. So one thing I like to do is that when I'm meditating, I will keep a notebook next to me, and I like to writing in fountain pens, and that's very fun for me. So I'll have a pen next to me as well. And if I come up with a really cool idea, I'll just write it down briefly. And the point isn't to write a full diary or novel, but rather just jot down the general ideas of what you want to, what is in your head, and then come back to your meditation. Because one thing you'll notice is that if you spend too much time writing everything down, you will lose that deep concentration that you've built up through your meditation. You can also develop all these really cool ideas and write that down on a piece of paper as well. So if you don't mind quickly writing it down and then coming back, that's fine. So focus more on the essence of what the idea is entailing rather than the actual content itself. And one thing you might have noticed, or I might have talked about this earlier as well, is that a lot of these talks that I'm doing, have come from a period of meditation. Although this particular talk was actually recommended by a viewer, a listener that was recommended this talk. The way I structured this all came from my meditation sitting. So essentially what I did for this particular talk that you're listening to is that I was just sitting in my meditation cushion. I wasn't really thinking about this talk at all, actually. I was just sitting there, and all of a sudden, all these ideas came in mind. So I came up with that, the brainwave state I was telling you about earlier, and then also explaining like how the differences between the ego and intuition that you heard about me talking about earlier. All that just came in my mind as I was sitting in my meditation. And then essentially what I did was I started writing down these ideas like really quickly on a notebook next to me. And then it took 20 seconds or 30 seconds. And then I was just like writing it without even thinking, because it's just like a flow on my journal. And then after I was done, I just put my pen down and went back to my meditation. And this actually happens a lot for almost all my talks, where I'm just sitting in my cushion and all these very cool ideas will come, and I'm writing this down. So it's very exciting, again, to feel inspiration in your meditation. And that's something that will happen a lot the more you practice and the more your concentration develops. Because especially if you're very new to the practice, it's going to be very hard to sit and try to focus your mind. But eventually, once you have that all dialed in, you're able to target a deeper part of your being where all these spontaneous ideas and intuition comes from. And this state or place of being is, I would say, the more true part of you, because you're looking so deeply inwards that your ideas are your own. And you'll notice that this is the right thing for you because it feels good within your body. It's more of like a light feeling and more of an impulse which comes upwards in your body, compared to, like I mentioned, if you were operating out of your mind, your thinking mind, and you're focused on your ego, this will feel more heavy in your body, and there's more explanations and rationalizations, whereas your true nature will feel light and effortless. So I hope this helps, and feel free to keep a notebook next to you, so next time you meditate, you can write all your cool ideas down. Hope this helps. Thank you.